Welcome back to Stoic Mentalism, where we explore vital topics using Stoic wisdom. Like this video if you are intrigued by Stoic wisdom, and if you are new here, hit subscribe and enable notification for our latest update. You're about to uncover an incredibly rare insight that most men will never grasp when it comes to attracting women. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to engage in conversations that captivate women, how to get into their minds, and how to leave them eagerly anticipating the next time they see or hear from you. Imagine this scenario. There's you, and there's the woman you want to talk to. What should you say? How should the conversation flow naturally? Before we get into those specifics, let's address a critical error men often make: overthinking. When you approach a conversation with a woman, especially one you find attractive, don't stress about what to say or how to say it. Instead, I need you to shift your mindset. Remember, she's just another human being. This might seem like simple advice, but it's crucial to truly internalize this. Whenever you speak to a beautiful woman, remind yourself, she's just a person like me. Next, it's essential to adjust your perspective about your position in the interaction. You need to envision yourself in a higher standing while viewing her in a lower position. This doesn't mean arrogance, but it helps shift the dynamic. Don't worry if this sounds unfamiliar. I'll explain how to adopt this mentality later on. As you converse with a woman, her subconscious, responsible for her romantic instincts, is constantly evaluating whether you're the right man for her. If you've been following along with this series on attracting women, you'll already know that women are emotional creatures who make decisions based on what they feel. But today, we're going even deeper into how attraction works. Understanding attraction is the most critical aspect of successfully connecting with women. Without grasping the mechanics of attraction, your chances of success in dating are limited. Unlike men who are more logical in their choices, women's decisions are driven by emotion. They don't actively choose whom they are attracted to. Rather, it's a subconscious process. Attraction for women is automatic and uncontrollable. It is triggered by specific behaviors and traits in men. So, to trigger this response, you need to align your behavior with those traits that naturally attract women. Before we delve into those specific behaviors, let's be clear about two important truths. 1. Women do not control who they feel attraction toward. And 2, women cannot control whom they are not attracted to. Attraction operates at a subconscious level, which is why it's so important to understand and leverage it effectively. Now, I want you to picture a woman's subconscious mind as a radar system. The moment you start a conversation with her, this radar activates, scanning you to determine if you're a suitable match. This process is separate from her conscious thoughts, meaning that if her subconscious radar signals attraction, her logical mind has little control over it. This is why many women end up in relationships with men who mistreat or cheat on them, even though their rational minds warn them against it. Her logical brain tells her, "You'll be hurt again," but her emotional programming overrides it. Women are biologically wired to respond to emotions, and this emotional radar is disconnected from logical thinking. Now, before we move forward, it's essential to understand a key fact. Every woman from birth has an instinctive drive to find the right man for her. This truth goes deeper than societal expectations. It's a biological imperative. A woman could have a prestigious career as a scientist or astronaut, but beneath all of that, her subconscious radar is always at work, scanning for the right man. And this man is not someone she consciously chooses. Rather, her subconscious is in charge of identifying and selecting him. Whenever you talk to a woman, know that her internal radar is quietly evaluating you, assessing whether you meet the criteria it seeks. One of the most important aspects it looks for is whether you present yourself as being better or higher status than she is, or if you see her as superior to you. The way you carry yourself and interact with her reveals this. If your behavior signals that you see yourself as confident, capable, and perhaps even a little superior, her radar will pick up on this and she will likely feel a pull towards you. At first glance, this concept may seem complex, but by the end of this video, you'll understand how to trigger this radar response and make any woman think about you constantly after a conversation without her even realizing why. Let's start with a simple but often overlooked factor: body language. You've probably come across various advice about body language, like keeping your head up or avoiding putting your hands in your pockets. Forget all that for now. It's not as effective as you might think. There are 3 key points I want you to focus on when it comes to body language. But before we delve deeper, don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already, and enable notification for our latest update. Welcome back. 1. A common mistake men make is leaning in too much during a conversation. This signals excessive interest, which can be off-putting because it shows you're too eager. Instead, make a habit of leaning slightly away when talking. This subtle shift conveys confidence and helps you appear more self-assured, which activates the radar in her subconscious to see you as a stronger, more desirable man. 2. Subtly signal that you're willing to walk away when a woman says something you disapprove of, instead of chasing after her. For example, if she says something like, "I'm not really interested," you could respond with confidence and humor by saying, "I know, I'm probably too much for you to handle. You're too much of a nice girl anyway," while simultaneously starting to walk away as you deliver the line. This action creates an intriguing dynamic. You might notice her either stepping toward you or attempting to engage you with a follow-up comment. Why does this work? Attractive women are generally not used to men walking away from them. They're accustomed to being pursued, often placed on a pedestal, and rarely encounter men who demonstrate indifference or the willingness to disengage. By walking away, you're showing that you're not desperate for her approval or attention, which signals high value. This unexpected behavior taps into her subconscious, sparking intrigue and attraction because it positions you as a man who has options and isn't afraid to lose her interest. It's a powerful move that can shift the dynamic in your favor, making her more drawn to you simply because you're not doing what every other guy would. 3. This is the most important aspect of body language that I want you to understand, is something that will apply not just in your interactions with women, but in every social setting throughout your life. Let me illustrate it with an example. Imagine you're sitting next to a highly influential person, someone of significant status. How would you sit? Likely you'd feel tense and self-conscious, trying to be respectful and careful with your posture. You'd probably smile and laugh nervously, hoping to leave a good impression. Now, contrast this with how you'd sit when you're with a close friend you've known for 10 years, or perhaps your sibling. You wouldn't give much thought to your posture. You'd relax, maybe stretch your legs out, lean back casually, and not care at all about what they think of your body language. It's the difference in comfort levels that signals who holds the higher value in any interaction. This is a powerful insight for your interactions with women. When two people talk, the one who feels more comfortable and doesn't seem to care about impressing the other is perceived as holding the higher value. I want you to adopt this mindset whenever you're interacting with women. Instead of worrying about how you should sit or move to impress her, focus on making yourself comfortable. If you want to put your hands in your pockets, do it. If you want to lean back or stretch your legs, go ahead. The key is to project ease and confidence through your body language, which will naturally make you appear more self-assured and attractive. A woman isn't going to be focused on what you're doing with your hands or legs. Instead, she'll sense whether you're at ease or trying too hard. This comfort sends a subconscious signal that you view yourself as being of higher value, and she will pick up on that. I want you to take this mindset beyond just interactions with women. Apply it to your entire life. Stop giving so much importance to how you think others perceive your body language. Learn to be comfortable in your own skin, and don't worry about impressing others. The moment you start overthinking how you're coming across physically, you've veered off course. Make peace with yourself, sit how you like, move as you wish, and project self-confidence. When you adopt this approach, people, especially women, will sense that you hold yourself in high regard. Now that we've covered body language, let's move on to communication. Here's a simple formula I want you to remember. 50% of the conversation should focus on her and her personality, 30% on the environment or other topics, and only 20% on you. Why should you talk about her more than yourself? Because in any interaction, the person who needs approval tends to talk more about themselves. Think about a job interview. You're the one talking about your qualifications, not the interviewer, because you're the one seeking approval. The same principle applies to conversations with women. The more you talk about her, the more in control you appear, as it shows you're not seeking validation. Let's dive into the first part, which is how to direct the conversation toward her. The conversation should be centered on her. Ask about her preferences, what she enjoyed during her childhood, her future plans, her dreams, and what she likes to do in her free time. Explore how she views herself, both the traits she finds positive and the ones she sees as negative. The goal is to make the conversation about her, which naturally draws her in. Next, 30% of your conversation should be about your surroundings or random topics that come to mind. Here's an important tip. Don't stress about what to say. Speak freely, like you're with a close friend you've known for years. It's perfectly fine to say something silly or lighthearted, as long as it keeps the conversation flowing. The idea is to avoid sounding like you're trying too hard to be serious or profound. You don't need to stick to one topic, just keep talking naturally. Think of it as if you were casually chatting while a bit tipsy, letting the conversation wander without focusing too much on sounding important. If she disagrees with you or you end up in a small debate, don't stress about proving your point. You don't need her approval, and you're not there to win arguments. Just relax and remember that the goal is ease, not control. Now for the 20% that's about you. When you talk about yourself, resist the urge to paint yourself as amazing or impressive. Never boast about your accomplishments or experiences. Here's a golden tip. When you share stories about yourself, focus on moments where you looked a bit silly or made mistakes. This shows you're confident enough not to need her approval or admiration. It's crucial to display self-assurance by not seeking validation. Another thing to incorporate is an element of mystery. Don't reveal too much about yourself too soon. Many guys make the mistake of answering questions in too much detail, which can make them seem overly eager. For example, if she asks where you work, instead of giving her a full job description, try responding with something playful like, "Whoa, we just met and you're already interviewing me." This keeps her intrigued and makes her want to learn more. By holding back a bit, you create curiosity, which naturally heightens attraction. Here are a few examples of how to be playfully mysterious. If she asks, "What are you doing Saturday night?" you can say, "Something exciting, but it's a secret." If she asks, "Have you ever been in a relationship?" you could reply with, "I don't know you well enough to share that yet." If she asks for your name, you could playfully say, "Guess, I'll give you a prize if you get it right." By maintaining this sense of mystery, you keep her interested because there's always more to discover. Now there's one more thing to consider. Women often subconsciously test men. This means that as you're talking, she might do or say things to gauge whether you're truly confident or if you're just putting on a front. These tests can throw many men off, causing them to lose their composure. Even if you followed all the steps I've shared, a test could make you doubt yourself or cause her to think you're being disingenuous. But don't worry, tests are a normal part of interactions, and I'll explain exactly how to handle them in future episodes of this series. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and hit the notification bell so you're always updated with our latest releases. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.